Earlier this week, we sat down with the CEO of Kent Sussex Industries to learn more about the group's incredible mission to help people with disabilities find employment. Well, that segment got preempted by that breaking news out of New York City. But we wanted you to see the interview in its entirety, so we're going to show it to you today. Okay, so here we are, the last day of October, the month set aside to recognize those who, despite having a disability, contribute greatly to the workforce. National Disability Employment Awareness Month has roots that go way back to 1945. But did you know that it wasn't until 1988 that Congress declared the entire month be devoted to the cause?
And here on Delmarva, Kent Sussex Industries, or KSI's, sole purpose is to assist people with disabilities in the pursuit of employment. And here to tell us more is the Chief Executive Officer of KSI, Craig Crouch. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Hey, thanks for having me this afternoon.
All right, so we just touched on the purpose of National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Why is it so important?
Well, KSI is celebrating its 55th year of service this year. We're very proud of that. Why is employment important? Employment really defines us as a person. It gives us a purpose in life. It allows us to be involved in things bigger than ourselves. It allows us to have successes. It allows us to have failures, which are actually learning opportunities. Plus, if you and I meet like we did this morning or this afternoon, one of the few things, if we engaged in conversations, one of the things I'd ask, well, what do you do for a living?
True. Okay.
So this employment creates other avenues for access to our community, friends. It allows us to have income, which allows us to pursue things that we like to do. It can be worship, it can be recreational, it can be paying for where we live, the food where we dine out. So employment is very important to people, not only, but especially to people with disabilities, because studies have shown that between 30 and 50% higher unemployment amongst people with disabilities compared to the lack of a normal person.
Right, right.
So there's greater challenges to folks with disabilities getting into the employment world. Us as an organization, what we try to do is create opportunities for people to become engaged in their communities.
I was going to ask you that next. I'm sure a lot of us have heard of Kent Sussex Industry, but what does KSI do?
We're an organization that believes that everybody can contribute at some level. And we try to provide that opportunity for people to contribute. You and I and Lisa all had jobs before we have this one.
Right.
Part of figuring out what you want to do in life is figuring out what you don't want to do in life.
Okay. I
had a bunch of jobs that I didn't like, and I knew I didn't want to do those. But how did I know that? Because I experienced it. That's what KSI tries to do, is create experiences for people so they figure out things they're good at, they figure out things that they like to do, and what is the ideal job? One that we're good at and one we like to do. Because when we get engaged in something we like to do, that's when our best comes out.
Yeah.
That's when our best comes out.
And along the way, the organization is changing lives?
Absolutely. You know, because we have people that, you know, in the early 80s, there was a big movement in our country to deinstitutionalize people. In the state of Delaware, that was a Stokely Center. There was about 2,000 people there with disabilities being served there. What happened then was that those people were then moved into the community, which is when KSI began to provide these services. Now there's less than 100 people at Stokely. There's still 2,000 people greater than that in our communities that are living and working now.
Right.
So what it was this change in our societal expectation of people. And we've also found, and we've seen through personal experience of the folks that we work with, that the folks that leave our organization and go to work in other people's organizations elevate the performance of people in that organization.
Really?
Absolutely. And you know, it's a term that we use, natural supports. People may not have transportation, but when you make friends and you work with someone, I live around the street from you, I'll help you get to work. We also had a recent client at Dover Downs Casino who actually won the employee talent contest there. They have an annual employee talent contest, and our participant was the winner of that contest.
That's incredible.
There's a perfect example of engaging someone in their community. You never know what's going to happen until you put somebody in a spot and give them a shot.
Okay, so how can the community help you?
Well, how can the community help us? There's a lot of ways. There's always financial challenges in the nonprofit world. That's always there. But what we're looking for are employees or employers that want to engage employees.
Okay.
And we will, if you want KSI to help you figure out how you can employ people with disabilities, we'll come in and help you do that. We also have programs to where when we place someone there or you hire them, we will bring a job coach with us that'll work right side by side that person. So if it takes them 3 months to get up to speed, that job coach is doing the other part of that job they're not able to do. So they become successful there. We fade out of that environment. We stay in contact with the employers, say, are there issues, things going okay? If things are going okay, we're not there. But let's say you need that employee to pick up additional responsibilities now. We will reintroduce ourselves, retrain or add those skills to that employee's experiences, And that's free to the employer. And I guarantee you, if you give us a chance or give our folks a chance, you'll have a successful business and your employees will thrive.
That's some of the best employees you'll ever get.
Absolutely, most dependable for sure.
Craig,
thank you.
Hey man, I
so
appreciate
much.
the opportunity to be here.
That
Thank
is
you very
so
much.
Wonderful.
Lots more ahead on Delmarva Life. Stay with us.